Exxon Mobil is planning to increase, that's right, increase its annual emissions of carbon dioxide by as much as the output of the entire nation of Greece. This is based on documents that have been leaked to the press, and these internal documents indicate that Exxon Mobil has decided to really double down on its production of fossil fuels. The drive to expand both fossil fuel production and planet warming pollution comes at a time when some of Exxon's rivals, such as BP and Royal Dutch Shell, are moving to curb oil and zero out emissions. Exxon's own assessment of its $210 billion investment strategy shows early emissions rising 17% by 2025. And again, this is according to those internal documents that were leaked to the press. And look, to be clear, Exxon obviously has never really cared much about any public outcry related to their, pollutants or to the damage that they've been causing to the environment. So at a time, like it's kind of amazing because they only seem to care about their profits. But keep in mind that it seems to only be their short-term profits. Because again, all of these other companies are like, okay, the future is in renewable energy, whether we like it or not. That's why they're shifting most of their emphasis on renewable energy. Exxon is like, no, we want to be the dinosaurs. Like we want to plot our own demise and just focus solely on fossil fuels and creating more pollution to accelerate the impact of climate change. The planning documents show for the first time that Exxon has carefully assessed the direct emissions it expects from the 7-year investment plan adopted in 2018 by Chief Executive Officer Darren Woods. The additional 21 million metric tons of carbon dioxide per year that would result from ramping up production dwarfs Exxon's projections for its own efforts to reduce pollution, such as deploying renewable energy and burying some carbon dioxide. The emissions generated by the extra drilling and refining would increase the company's greenhouse gas emissions to 143 million tons of CO2 equivalent per year. And that's according, again, to those internal documents.
So that's yearly emissions going up by 17%. But we're a little bit outraged at the wrong thing. So let me explain what I mean by that. So this is their business model to create to take advantage of fossil fuels, get them from the ground, sell them. And yeah, they make more money when they increase production. So now the right wing will stop there and go, see, that's wonderful, isn't it? No, it's not wonderful because that then has a cost that the rest of us bear that Exxon Mobil does not bear. Now, that's not how capitalism is supposed to work. You're supposed to get your profits, but you're also supposed to have your costs assigned to you, right? But they make us pay the cost. So that comes in financial terms. So when we get hit with severe storms, the American taxpayers have to pay billions upon billions of dollars to clean up those storms. It also comes in terms of deaths and houses that are burnt down, washed away, etc. So already we've had hundreds and perhaps thousands of those deaths because of more severe storms in America, more severe droughts, fires, hurricanes, you name it, it's all happening. It's not later, it's right now. But across the world, it creates refugee crises, and every scientist in the world says it is going to kill millions of people. Now, what's amazing is we allow it. Imagine if a corporation, and we allow it, by the way, for several corporations in several different contexts. The drug companies promoted OxyContin, which was basically heroin. And we all knew it, but since they wore suits and made a lot of money and paid off politicians, we let them sell those drugs that were highly addictive that we knew was gonna kill 30 to 50,000 people every year, and it did. And they made hundreds of millions, their executives alone made hundreds of millions of dollars from it. And we didn't do anything about it. All you gotta do is bribe the politicians. So imagine if there was a corporation that went around shooting people in the head, but said, no, it's okay, I donated to the Republicans and just enough Democrats, and they allow me to shoot people in the head and I make a lot of money off of it. That would literally be defended in America. They'd be like, well, hey, they got a right to make money. And hey, they're not bribing the officials. They're just talking to them. That's just freedom of speech, baby, right? And Exxon Mobil had freedom of speech to the tune of millions of dollars that they gave to politicians. And now millions of us are dying all across the world from the climate change that they create and that they know that they're creating. An earlier story had documents from, what was it? I think they were the 1970s, even before Al Gore figured it out. As the leading scientist said it at the time, Exxon at the time, they had not merged yet with Mobil, knew and had documents of their own scientists saying, oh yeah, this is gonna lead to a thing where we're gonna put a lot of carbon in the air and that's gonna choke the planet and do grave damage to the planet we live on. But we're gonna make money. And the executives are like, oh, I'm making money and I'm putting the cost on other people and other people are gonna die? Oh, I'll just bribe some politicians, no problem. And that's exactly what happened.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.